this is Lights126. Here are my final thoughts on the movie before the official debut. It comes out tomorrow, June 9th, for the United States abroad. It's been a long road to this movie's release. Thank you to all who have been watching my videos. And to anyone new, thank you for tuning in. Now, for the review so far, people have been rating this bad, and others have been rating this great. Now, I believe some of these people are really just analyzing this film, looking for a merit. Here's my point on the matter. Transformers is not supposed to be some literary masterpiece. It ultimately based off of a toy franchise, which revolves around a very complex concept. Intelligent machines with the ability to mimic vehicles and devices of everyday life. They have a world to them, a history to them, but ultimately it's just fun. What are you expecting? Shakespeare? But it doesn't mean you should just make some random stuff like in The Last Knight for the sake of making a movie. Give us what the Transformers is supposed to be about. And that's what Steven Caple Jr. is giving to people. I believe many people sense it. They believe that this time this movie will be a better installment to this film franchise and will be another fine addition to the world of the Transformers. It should just be meaningful and fun. However, with The Last Knight, with its inconsistencies and the lack of use of the world Transformers, that is why that film is just pathetic. Needless concepts, yet underutilizing what makes these films, the Transformers, great. The Transformers. It seems redundant, but that's the only important ingredient that really sticks out, that will make these films successful. All this extra stuff about trying to dig deep, all this extra lore, it doesn't really mean anything if you're not experiencing it with the Transformers. All that hollow exposition in The Last Knight just means nothing if you can't experience the greatness of it. It seemed like a random Last Night, but I'm just telling you this, if Bumblebee was able to just have a captivating story with a Transformer, he didn't have to expand lore or make a complicated story. People just wanted to follow what the film is about. Transformers. All this complicated stuff really just makes it a lot more obnoxious. And the issue with Bay's Transformers is that he was adding on instead of expanding what was before. So it worked as retcons instead of actually expanding the story. There's no connectivity, it is just a collection. Hopefully with Rise of the Beast, there is not a collection but an actual expansion of what we were given before. Hopefully the essence of Bumblebee isn't diminished by Rise of the Beast. So if people can just follow with a good story with the Transformers in the core of the story, then people will like this movie. So people can't really criticize it being bad if you are being given what you really want. So it doesn't matter what the critics say as long as people are getting what they are supposed to get. So, should people get a good story? Absolutely, because hey, Transformers can have good stories. They are people after all. We should see them experiencing it, not just a human experiencing Transformers experiencing something. That was an issue that the previous films had, depending on which movie you was watching. Now with this film, the plot seems very redundant. The heroes must stop a major threat from destroying the Earth. It's predictable how this film will play out to a degree, so the plot is pretty much the same to that of Dark of the Moon and even a little bit to The Last Knight. Foreign celestial bodies coming from space. The fate of humanity lies in the hands of the heroes. An evil villain is in their way. But ultimately, it's about seeing how these events play out. Like I said before, it should be how we experience the Transformers. I understand that the human factor is important. If it's done well, then it's not offensive. I feel like Anthony Ramos' character, Noah, is going to have some fluidity and not give you a headache. these characters will pretty much have a decent amount of groundedness to them, that the audience will not get irritated by their presence. And for the Transformers, well, they have been featured nicely from the trailers and all the other clips. I'm already liking Mirage. He seemed like a decent character. He's new, funny, but not obnoxious compared to the twins. Remember them? You got RC with a vastly superior design and personality. The actress that is voicing her seems to have a lot of charisma in what she's doing, so that's a win. Wheeljack's face is not a win though. His vehicle form is alright. I just don't understand why they would change his face. I guess it just doesn't really match the body, but he couldn't really keep his faceplate. I mean, the design is really just deviated from what he looked like in Bumblebee and how he sounded. Hey, do you all remember how Hot Rod was just French in The Last Night? That's pretty much the same thing that is happening with Wheeljack. He's Spanish, saying aye aye aye. That's pretty stereotypical, is it not? Anyways, I'm glad that Bumblebee is taking a backseat in this film. I think that he is going to be pushed aside for a good bit in this film. It is evident with the Autobots meeting the Maximals. You can tell that Bumblebee is not there. I don't know, I could be wrong. Hey, it's really nice to have a flyer once again. I know we had Jetfire and Revenge of the Fallen, but an Autobot that wasn't a Decepticon originally. That will be Stratosphere, sporting facial hair. I guess that will continue to be a thing in Transformers. Don't know how that works, but okay, not really a problem. And Optimus Prime, it's just nice to have Peter Cullen yet again. Up until the recent Bay films, I thought you could never really go wrong with Optimus. But at least we are moving away from that. That is what I can appreciate in this reboot. Bonaventura just likes to make things complicated. But yes, this is a reboot ultimately. It cannot connect with the Bay films. There's too many contradictions. The Bayformers already have problems with his own continuity, so why add on Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast to this continuity traffic jam? It would be nice to finally retire Bayformers for good and not try to make Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast a part of it. There won't have to be any confusion or any clutter with what has happened and what is established. With Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast only, you have a more organized timeline with no contradictions. To be honest, everybody wants that, and to be honest, many people will want that. For the sake of better storytelling, the disconnection between Bayformers movies and Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast will respect both timelines. Rise of the Beast and its sequels will not tarnish the legacy of the Bayformers, nor what was established with the Bayformers, but not damper for what is to come with the new installments. And with Bumblebee, that will be the best choice for Hasbro and Paramount. Especially Paramount. The name Michael Bay is now a deterrent to people when it comes to Transformers. It is for the best, but ultimately it's Paramount's greed and the insolence of Lorenzo di Bonaventura for the decline of the Bayformers. If they had been patient and more thoughtful, the Bayformers would have not gone down in infamy. They should have been more thoughtful after Dark of the Moon. Even though I defend Age of Extinction to a degree, The Last Night is just a testament to their bullcrud, and thus they suffer for it. $100 million to be exact. But they can thank Travis Knight for the save back in 2018 with Bumblebee, because without it we might not be getting no more Paramount Transformers. The Maximals was an interesting choice to capture new interest, so looking at it logically, I can see that as a plus. One thing I know for sure is that this movie is not going to please every Beast Wars fan. It's not going to have every character. Beast Wars, Megatron, Rat Trap, Dinobot. Those are 3 characters people want to see that are likely not going to be in this movie. Hey, the movie can't do everything, but for what is being done, I could at least appreciate that. Will I see this movie in theaters? No. For all of the excitement, for me bringing you all the news, I'm not going to give my money to Paramount. Why, Lights? Why are you not going to give your money to Paramount, Hasbro? That's exactly the point. It's going to Paramount, Hasbro, who have decided in their functional minds to show a topic about something that is not even logical to kids with the recent Transformers show, Transformers Earthspark. I'm not going to go into detail with this video, but by now people probably understand the controversy. If I was to give Paramount Hasbro money, I would be passing it to children learning delusional information that they do not need in their young lives. So for the best, I should not support this. To those who see it, all power to you. Hopefully you are given a movie that you've been waiting for a long time. I'll eventually find a way of seeing this movie, but for now I'm good. It stings, but I'm good. It's been a journey seeing how this movie played out into its initial debut. I earned a good bit of subscribers along the way. Thank you all for subscribing. And to those who've seen the movie, hope you have enjoyed it. And to those who are about to see it, hope you all enjoyed it. This is Lights126 saying, to all are one.